What's happening here?
I'm gonna smell them. Can you smell that?
Let the people smell.
That's chicken. That's not that hybrid. That's not that hybrid. That's a real chicken wing. That's not that hybrid rib meat.
We got some buffalo chicken
and some potato skins.
Potato wedges. The guy tried to correct Kara. We got some potato wedges.
They call them potatoes. They call potato wedges. See?
Yeah.
And we got a cute little cake.
Got a cute little cake. Y'all.
So cute. Look how cute.
One of those days.
Look how adorable this is.
Cute. Okay. Hi everybody. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about cancel culture.
But before we start, if you like what you're seeing, please like, share, and subscribe.
So cancel culture, let's talk about the cancel culture, Kara, because there was something you were saying last week. You said that when do you give people, like, it's where they don't, it's like have to stop paying for all their big mistakes? Like, when is there a time where it's time to say they have paid their debt to society, whether it's in actual jail or just the court of public opinion, and just be able to move on from it, because people are getting canceled. And I don't like this. I don't like that whole thing. I am in total disagreement with all of this. Oh my God, they messed up. They didn't do this right. Cancel. Yeah. I'm like, why are we canceling people? People can make mistakes. You never made a mistake before? Is there some things though that are canceled?
I mean, we live in a bully sort of situation. The social media is very mob mentality. You know what I mean? And so it's like, let's just use like Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. She's today is still going through being called like a hoe and everything. Like, come on, you know how many women cheat on their have been the other woman.
He didn't get half the ridicule that she got.
And he should. You know what I mean? He's gross. You know what I mean? So, but what I'm saying is that he really is. You know what I mean? But my point in saying that is just like, people treat her like she is the only woman that's ever had an affair with a married man. Right. And we all know that's not true.
Clearly.
You know? So it's just like, and I feel like it's time to let this girl live in peace and be okay. You know, she made a mistake when she was very, very young. Yeah. Why does she have to be canceled? Why does she have to be a homewrecker for the rest of her life? I mean, 40 years later, it's like she's still...
When people say this whole thing, like, oh my God, their whole line of clothing or their whole line of makeup or whatever, they're just canceled because they did something wrong, right? And I just feel like, I just think people are, it's so easy to say. It's like when you say that, you really have to ask yourself, haven't you ever done something that maybe you would be canceled over?
Yeah, I have.
I have too. So, like, why? I don't like that whole idea of just that no one can ever come back from a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, when people find out that a celebrity said something racist and then they make them out to be a racist, it's just like, come on, people. I mean, look, when people are racist and they learn their lesson and they get over it, aren't we supposed to celebrate that? Why are we still making them out to be a racist and they can never come back again? You know what I mean? Because they're just like Paula Dean, for instance. Paula Dean was raised in the Deep South, right? In the 50s and 60s. Yes. I mean, who that was white in the South wasn't just calling a black person a nigga? You know what I mean? Come on. You know what I mean? And my point in saying this is not to excuse it, but the woman has come pretty far since her younger years in the South. Yeah. She's been around Oprah. She's done all kinds of when people broaden their horizons, they learn more. It changes the way. There are Klans members that have completely changed their position on, and they were horrible before.
Well, someone told me once before, once a racist, always racist.
No, and I'm like, that's not true.
It can't be true. When I was telling Kara this story, one time I was checking in this man, and he was a really nice man, and he had a really heavy Southern accent, and we were talking about something. I can't remember what we were talking about exactly, but he brought up a subject. And somehow we morphed into race. I don't even know how that happened, but we did. It wasn't even initially about that. And then I was like, well, the culture, what's going on today in the world today, it's not like it's anything different than what's been going on forever. I mean, racism's happened. And that he shared with me that he was a former, what's it called? Skinhead, I guess, I guess what, Aryan brother? Is that what you call it? Aryan brother? Yeah. So anyways, and he was an older man, but he also had a swastika on his forearm. And it was half gone, and because he's getting it removed, right? So I was like, oh, so he's like, so I'm a former racist. I said, okay. I said, really? And so I always take those opportunities to really listen to people, you know what I mean? And not just be like, oh, dismissed. You know, I want to know what happened. And I'm like, you know, we had time. So I was like, so what made you be a racist? He said, I was raised racist. He was pretty open about his racism, what he went through, you know, and he's like, you know, and I said, well, what changed you? And he said, there was just a time where he said he was at a store, and it just something about the politeness of, there was a black man that was in front of him, and the black man needed to go get something, and he wanted him to hold his place in line. Now, he said, this is a very random. This was extremely random. It's not make any sense to anybody. He said, but something with it, I didn't want to hold his place in line, but I was being in this position to hold a space for a black man. And as a racist person, we don't do that. You know what I mean? Racist people don't do that. He's like, and I did. And then he came back and he was like, oh, thank you. He didn't know I was who I am, you know? And so he was like, thank you. He said, and then that, for some reason, just, I guess, I had always been told that black people were mean, scary, dangerous. And I just realized in that moment that the people that I'm running with are mean, scary, and dangerous. And I realized that I myself was mean, scary, and dangerous. He's like, and I don't know anything about this man. He could be too. I don't know. He said, but what I did realize is that something within that moment made me change who I am, and which means he had to disassociate from everyone. And I want to say he's from Kentucky. I think he's from Kentucky, like one of the backwoods, Kentucky, like one of them. And he's like, and I started just making changes in my life. He's like, and starting with his tattoos, you know, and so he's removing them. So I said to myself, I said, well, you know, a lot of people would dismiss you. He said, they have every right to. He's, I'm telling you, as a former racist, anybody who's come up in my path or doesn't understand it, they would have a right to not. I can't tell someone to please forgive me. You know, he said, all I can do is be different and change and then move on. I said, I can respect that. Yeah. Like I said, I'm sorry, sir, but I can respect that. He's like, well, I'm glad you can. He said, but honestly, I'm really doing this because I need to do it for myself. And if I do it for myself, I do it for society. Because then I'm not going to be one of those people in society to walk around being racist anymore. So now I have a new, and now he also said that his life is now more relaxed. He was always tense and looking for, you know, bad things. And he just changed. I said, so you completely just like changed. He said, I changed. He said, and my people I ran with, my family members, they don't have anything to do with me anymore. And I said, wow. And he was like, and I thought, but you know, people should be able to change. He said, I know. He's like, but this is what, you know, you sometimes when you run with the wrong people for so long, you built that yourself. And he was very like insightful. Like I really appreciate this guy. And all I could think is that someone's gonna say, and so now when I hear people say to me, once a racist, always a racist, the first thing I think of is this man. Because I'm like, no. That's just not true. I don't think so.
It's like you have to, if you want things to change, you have to accept change too.
You do.
You can't just sit there and say, well, you know, you can't. What are we talking to racist people for then?
What's the point?
What do we care if we don't expect anything to actually change? I mean, there are people who go to prison and they get treated like prisoners for the rest of their life. And it's just like, you know, when you pay your debt to society and then that should be like, you have to treat people like they are what they are. They're not criminals anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's why I don't really like, okay, do you have a criminal background? And make people put that on their, on their job application just so they can not get a good job, right? And then go back to the crime. Yeah, it's just like when you go to jail and you pay your debt to society, then you are now free.
You're free.
You shouldn't still be in jail.
Like I feel like sometimes like not everybody is reformed. I understand this. That's not. I'm not being naive here. I understand that not everybody is reformed, but there are people who literally are reformed, and I know some of them.
But prison culture, like being in prison, is the fault of not only just the prisoner sometimes, but also the prisons.
Yeah,
because if you're not going to help rehabilitate people and just lock them up like animals, and then treat them bad with the guards that treat them bad, and the wardens and all of the way they treat them, and they don't help them psychologically. You just take away their freedom and then make them
slave work.
Because a lot of companies are also making money off of inmates doing work for free.
Yeah.
You know
They're making those clothes for free.
So if you're going to do that to them and then set them free, because 80% of the prisoners are coming out.
They're coming out. We're going to
see
them.
They come out and they come back to society, it's like it's almost set up for them just to go back. Because if they come back out and they haven't had any really reform. Yeah. In school, they get college education, but college education doesn't mean that you're not gonna be psychologically helped. That's just, you got an education. There are many people who have college educations that are messed up in the head. Yeah, you know what I mean. So stop using college and grades as a way of meaning that you're like balanced.
Ted Bundy had a college education,
right? Exactly.
So
you know what I mean. So I don't get it. All our presidents have been to college. Right. Look how messed up they all are. All of them. You know what I mean. So come on, it's just like, come on, stop using grades and education as a way of being. Yeah, I'm sure the Klan goes to college. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, like,
I just don't think that people should
cancel people for just like what's his name? Mark Wahlberg. He did some racist things.
He did some bad things.
Some bad things. I mean, he actually got in a physical fight.
I think he went to jail for his bad things that he did.
So, he was raised a certain way. You know what I mean?
I was really shocked at that.
He's been in Hollywood and he's been around lots of black actors, and he's different now. He's different. What I mean? But he shouldn't be just canceled over something that, I've done some things in my life that I'm not really proud of at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've told you some of them, I think, but I mean, just I haven't.
Why am I canceled?
But I'm not gonna, I have a father that didn't take care of me. Yeah. I don't want him to be miserable for the rest of his life. You know what I mean?
He shouldn't have to, you shouldn't have to, be condemned. For the rest of your life for a mistake. Uh-huh. And some mistakes are heinous. Now, so I understand this is a case-by-case basis, but I still in some way feel like if someone is trying to do better and they still aren't doing well at that, you know what I mean? But they're trying to do better. It's like, why are we just going to further the mess of their life by saying that you're going to be canceled off, like you're canceled. Because
if you do that to somebody, you're next.
You're next. Because that energy you're giving is, don't you think like it's, you're giving off really negative energy. Yeah. And see, we're really big on energy. So I really, really believe that whatever energy you put in is the energy that you're going to get back. The whole thing. So I think that if you're saying to somebody, no, I'm never going to do this again, you can never come back from that mistake. You know what I mean? Like, then that means that you can't come back from yours either. So you are next. Right. Anything that you do and you mess up with, you're going to have to pay for that mistake for the rest of your life. Wouldn't you hate if everybody thought that? Right. Like, wouldn't you hate that? Like, I would hate that. I know people who are, former alcoholics and made fools of themselves while they were in their alcoholism, and came out of alcoholism, right? And did their whole program and are now on a clean, dry, doing well. And there's people that still feel like, the way you acted back when you were an alcoholic, you did this at that party, you did that at the wedding. Yeah, it's disgraceful, but can we help the person? Should we be trying to help each other? Like, why are we always trying to say that it's the end for you? That is it. Okay, you made a fool of yourself, embarrass me in front of people when you were under, the influence. Right. So guess what? The rest of your life,
you're going to have to wear scarlet letter.
That's it. You're done. You're done.
I had a friend, even on Facebook, that I know, and he was all for weeks, making, what's her name? Jada Smith, Pinkett.
Oh, yeah.
Smith is like adulterous and Will should drop her. I'm like, you cheated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you cheated. Like, what do you mean? Like, I know you cheated.
Yeah. So
you cheat, but you're condemning somebody else. You act like this woman is the only woman that's ever cheated on her husband. And I'm not even sure it was. I think but I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is even if she did do that, if you cheated,
then what the hell
are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
they always say when you point one finger at somebody,
you're usually talking about yourself.
There's three more pointing back at you. And that is true.
People, though, online in general, you know what I mean? Because even though me and Danielle have a small channel, we do have a channel and we get a lot of criticism. And the thing is, people love to get keyboard courage. And they like to say stuff that they wouldn't say to your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, most people will not say they're most of these people who hate Donald Trump would be on their knees. Oh, let me have an autograph if they met him in person. If he came up, like, you know what I mean? Like, most people can be very fake. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I can guarantee you that there are some people who hate Donald Trump, that if he came into his space, they would be asking for autographs because he's famous. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So people are mostly hypocritical. If you know any kind of embarrassing or hurtful thing you've ever done in your life,
think about it though.
If you think about it, and then someone like, just say like we blew up right now, and something we did that we hadn't said about just came out. Nikki Tutorials, for instance. Nikki Tutorials is transgender. Yeah. But she didn't want anyone to know that someone blackmailed. And people were going to... She felt like people might cancel her. Yeah. That's why she didn't say anything. But the thing is, it's just like... That's not even a problem.
It's not even a cancelable thing.
That's not even a cancelable thing. That is her business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's interesting that people feel like they could just powerfully cancel you because you have a point of view, or like Kanye West. Like, instead of canceling Kanye West, why don't we just look at him and think there's something going wrong?
Yeah, I was. That's another part of it.
Like, he could have some mental issues or something. Instead, Black community, we love to rally around Jay-Z and Beyonce and Oprah, and we love to rally around Barack Obama. But when one of us falls, we're the first one. Sell out, stay away. You know what I mean? It's just like, no. How about making sure he's all right? Maybe there is something wrong.
But most people keep the foot on the back. Yeah. And it's like, no, that we have to be able to understand people and where they're coming from, and not give them an easy pass, but being willing to listen to people. So you can. That's why we even do this show, is because we want to have really important. Open topics, you know what I mean? So where people can have an actual discussion, you know what I mean? And not, that's like when we have a video where some people are still going back and forth in the comment section, get mad at each other. I'm like, stop canceling each other. Just talk. Like, talk normal, stop name calling, all that. Like, it's a point where you really do just have to just sit there and listen with people, and then you be able to help by listening. Just like listening alone is going to help the situation. But when you're over here saying, oh no, you can't make a mistake, and it's over now, you done did that. I was watching, I also don't care about this. What's her? Mael hair. Yeah. I think it's called Mael Organics. Yeah. It's just a hairline, natural hairline. She's a Black woman. She's a Black-owned business. And we use a couple of her products.
Her leave-in.
Her leave-in conditioner. Okay, so anyways, she is now canceled. And her company, apparently, because she got... in my opinion, I believe that she was unprofessional. And here's my belief about this whole thing. She came back at somebody who gave her a product a bad review. She got pissed. Okay. And she went into this reviewer's comment section and started coming back at her. Right. Okay. And that, to me, as being a CEO, that is unprofessional. You should not do that. That's just what are you doing? Right. That makes literally no sense, okay, to me at all. Right. But she did, and her husband then came in trying to have his wife's back, and like, y'all starting trouble. What are you doing? It's just a review. Who cares? You have $1 million business. Who really cares? Right. But so anyway, so now everyone has said she's canceled. Mael hair is canceled now. And I'm thinking, you guys have never... And I don't even know her well. I haven't gotten deep into this, but it seems that's pretty much the basic of what's happening here. And she's not wanting to apologize. So I guess people are canceling her until she gives a proper apology and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I mean, apology is kind of needed in this. I do agree with that. I can understand the situation, but I just feel like... Someone said in the comment section, you never spoke out of turn before. You've never been unprofessional. I've been unprofessional before, y'all. Like,
I've actually been mad and wrong. Yeah, at the same time. Me too. Like, I've said things that I knew when I was saying it was wrong.
It was wrong.
Like, I was just angry, and I wanted to win the argument. Yeah. So sometimes we get in our feelings. You know what I mean? Her product is personal to her because it's her business and she worked on it. She got her feelings. You can't do that.
Can't do that.
That's what they say. It's business, not personal. Yeah. But she made it personal, and so now she's being handled direct. But I like her. I mean, you don't cancel. So it's like remember when Joel Osteen didn't let people in to his church with the hurricane.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look, you can think how you want to feel about TV preachers and Joel Osten or whatever. He didn't let anybody in during the hurricane. People got mad because they said he wasn't being Christian because he should have let in the doors. And his thing was that we have valuable papers and things like that. Our building was not set up for that emergency to happen in Texas. You know what I mean? And he was just like, but maybe he should have opened the doors.
Right.
But it was all cancel him. He's a fake preacher. He's all this. I'm like, you're not going to cancel Lakewood. Okay? Because if you have to cancel this man for that, you'd have to cancel all the pastors because they all lie.
Local ones,
you know what I mean? They local ones too, right? Not just mega churches. They all
shady.
But what I'm saying is, it's just like this man has worked his whole life and he's built something, and you don't just cancel him because he may have made a mistake. Yeah. And the thing is, like, do I think he should have opened the doors? Maybe. But I don't know. I don't know why he didn't do it. See, that's another thing. Like we were saying before. Remember, we were watching that show, that 21 Days.
Oh yes.
Okay, so there is a really good show that is called 21 Days, and and they don't do. I think I only did it like once or
30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
Sorry, 30 days. Mm-hmm. And they make you walk 30 days in someone else's shoes. Mm-hmm. So if you want to, he made a Christian guy who got to walk in the shoes of a Muslim guy, and so the point of it is to show you the other side of things. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was the whole point of Undercover Boss. Is the bosses have to now see with the peanut vendors and the janitors and everything that they do to make these CEOs money. They have to walk in their shoes to see, well. I always kind of use, like, to make it personal with me, like, I always use our show to think about that in that way, because again, like Karen was saying, we are a very small channel, right? Our channel small was growing, but we are a very, very small channel. And criticism that we get with some of our topics and stuff is sometimes a lot. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a lot, but we stand our ground. I can't imagine people who are in the millions, thousands even, what kind of pressure that must be. You know what I mean? Like they must be getting a lot of cancellations, you know what I mean? And so, I don't know. I just think that you have to be able to put yourself into people's shoes. I don't think that you should always be, it should just be over for people. No. Like, I just don't like that. I don't like the energy of that thought. Especially when it comes to people's businesses, because imagine if you were watching us right now talking to this and you had a business. Right. I mean, because imagine how hard that is. It's hard just to get in this show going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Daniel are always pulling out content and stuff, and we're still not like even 1,000. Right. So, you know what I mean? But my point in saying that is imagine how hard the work it is to put into something. Yeah. And then one thing you do wrong, or one thing you messed up on, or you just kept from people. Yeah, because you don't want everybody knowing. People just want you to they just want you just to fall off the face of the earth because they're mad.
Isn't that crazy?
I think it's stupid. You know what I mean? It's just like, no one's going to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't think you should do that.
And like you were saying, this is such a mob mentality, because once one person is like, oh my God, canceled, over, done, they're deceased. It's like, then people go like, yeah. Cancel. Everyone's just kind of following the sheep. They're just sheep, and just like cancel. Let's watch all their views go down. Remember, like when I guess like Shane Dawson right now is having a hard time because of lots of stuff, and some of the stuff is warranted. A lot of stuff is warranted, but what's not, to me, is to completely just try to ruin someone. Like, I don't like the energy behind any of that. I don't like cancel culture. I don't believe you should do that. I think everyone's human and they make mistakes. Right. I think some mistakes are disgusting, and I get people's wanting to stay far away.
Jeffrey Epstein, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting, you know what I mean?
and that needs to come to justice. You know what I'm saying? No one's saying that. But it's just like, remember when Chick-fil-A had that big controversy with their stance on gay?
Yeah, still have the controversy.
They still have that controversy. You know what I mean? But look, I'm an advocate for gay people. I think that people should live however the hell they want to live, and it's nobody's business what someone does in the privacy of their or even who they sleep with or who they're attracted to. I don't think that's anyone's business. And live your life. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that is their opinion.
That's it.
And if you don't like it, don't eat their chicken. Yeah. But you know how many gay people are eating their chicken?
A lot.
You know what I mean? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm for rights of people's position.
Me too.
You know what I mean? If you're a Republican, then I don't agree with everything that you say, but that is your opinion and you have the right to it. This is America.
Yeah. You're supposed to be able to do that, right?
Right. This is why they fight.
Right.
For us to have freedom. Right. The same as Democrats. I don't agree with Democrats.
No.
I'm more of an independent, so I don't agree with either party, really. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? I think that they are, but look, it is your freedom to think and believe however you want. Right. You know what I mean? And I feel that way with sexuality. I feel like that even with smoking. And I don't even like smoking. I used to smoke.
Yeah.
And I don't even smoke anymore. I haven't smoked in so many years, but now when people smoke, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
So you can do it. You know what I mean? I feel that's just how I feel. You know what I mean? So I don't think people should be canceled. My point in saying is that just because someone has a different point of view or has done something that may have offended you,
doesn't mean it has to be the end of it.
It's not, unless your life agrees with everyone's life, you also are a problem.
Yeah.
For someone.
Like, I'm against, pedophilia, all these things. Right. Okay, I understand there are things people do. Those are not called mistakes.
That's a sickness.
That's not a mistake.
That's a problem.
That's literally a problem. It's a sickness. It's an illness, and it needs to be handled. Mm-hmm. Right? But I think we would save more children if we start to understand the mentality, the patterns of behavior with people who are murderers or anybody that's in. I'm talking about the most heinous stuff you can think of. There's the minor stuff like the Mael heroin people, and then there's like the heinous stuff. We're doing the Jeffrey Dahmers and all that stuff. I'm not saying apologize for Jeffrey Dahmer. Clearly that's not right. No. Anybody who's done anything like that is wrong. But
when someone gets caught doing something like that, it's better to really
figure them out.
Understand that, because otherwise we'll never get to the bottom of why things happen the way that they happen. That's why we have doctors. Yeah. That's why psychiatrists. That's why they exist. You know,
and even speaking of it's morbid, but Jeffrey Dahmer, they because it was so heinous what he did, they researched his brain and found out exactly why he is the way he is, why he was the way he was. It's a lot of stuff going on there, right? Just speaking just medically. That was really wrong with him. And just not even that, just the way he, things from his youth and that people, that parents missed or, stuff like that. So it's just, I think that we would do better if we would just listen, is my thing, and research instead of just saying, just lock them up, throw away the key, or don't ever buy that product anymore. Or don't ever listen to that person's music ever again. Don't ever watch that movie again because that person's in there. I'm like, wait, you know what I mean? Like, what? You have to. What you're saying is that you're perfect,
right?
That's what that when you do that's what you're saying. You're saying that you're perfect. If you inherently just really believe that someone is just not your cup of tea, do not watch their stuff. Don't support their their party. Don't go and support their movies or their music or whatever it has been. I understand that part. You don't want to have part of it, but shout them to rooftops to go and never ever. Right. I just don't think. I understand it's a case-by-case basis, but I do think that we have a problem in this culture getting rid of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's for stuff that's kind of minor.
Yeah. One time I dated a guy that we had a debate on a topic, and I disagreed with him 100%. And he was disagreed with me. You know what I mean? And he thought I wasn't going to talk to him anymore. Because I disagreed, and he was just like, I thought you just weren't going to talk to me anymore. I was like, why? Because we had a disagreement. What? I said, look, we're not going to disagree with everything. We're not going to agree with everything in life. And in fact, I don't even want to date someone who everything I do, they're like, oh yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? No, it's fake. It's phony. I mean, we're supposed to have different opinions because we're different people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I said, why would you think? He's like, because most women would be kind of frustrated by that conversation we had today. I said, no.
The only time that I feel like I would just walk away from somebody, like indefinitely, I just didn't like you. If I didn't like you, if I felt like you were just a big liar, and I can never, why talk to you? If you're gonna say if every word's gonna come out of your mouth is gonna be a lie, then I really am wasting my time on that. But it doesn't mean you're canceled. It just means you're not for me.
Even when people get mad at us. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like
we've had people, subscribers, get mad and still subscribe, and
still subscribe,
shout out to those subscribers too who
give constructive criticism and still stay subscribed
and stay subscribed and not be all in your feelings. Like it's not that deep. I like constructive criticism. We all kind of need it. We're not perfect, so we kind of need that. So I just think that just people, please. Yeah. I get it. It's a case-by-case basis. I understand there are, exceptions to some things where you can't foresee yourself ever liking a certain person. Not whatever. Okay, fine. This I can agree. Sometimes I feel that way. But saying that someone is no good to this world anymore and they're still a human being is just, to me, it's not responsible thinking. I just feel like you're just not you're not allowing any give in anyone's life. And so I hope that you're perfect, and that if something goes wrong in your life, I really hope that somebody will give you some give if you mess up. You know what I mean? Will kind of help you and have a smidge of understanding. Yeah. I hope that for you. Because if they treat you the way that you're acting towards them, that means that you are done. Yeah. You're done.
I mean, because I've said things that were inappropriate. You know what I mean? Like, I've made inappropriate jokes. You know what I mean? And it's funny to me. You know what I mean? But if it's not funny to the person I'm telling, then it just didn't land. Yeah. Back in my club days, we used to drink and drive. And that is absolutely unacceptable. I was 21 years old and being dumb, because when you're 21, you don't think anything can happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do dumb stuff. Dumb stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And everybody does it. Yep. No one can pretend like when they were in their early 20s, they didn't make the dumbest mistakes that you would not do in your 40s. You
just won't admit to it.
You just won't admit to it.
Because you know why? Because it was dumb and you're embarrassed. So let us know what you think about that, you guys. Do you believe in cancel culture? Are there like exceptions where you feel like, no, they need to be canceled? You know what I mean? Just let us know in the comments below. And I'm just
Have you ever canceled someone to actually stay canceled?
Yeah.
Like, there are some people that will cancel people, but, you know, like in a few months and everything goes over with their friends. Yeah. They're buying their products again. They're going into the stores. They're buying chicken from You're Gay and going to chicken places that don't support gay people. You know what I mean? It's just...
Thank you so much for watching. Please, again, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video and share so we can grow. All right, guys. We will see you later on this week. Bye.